What's going on, everybody? Welcome back to the channel, Aces. I hope that all of you are having an amazing Wednesday. It's hump day. We are getting over the hump. Chance the Rapper and his wife, Kirsten Corley, unfortunately have announced their divorce after 5 years of marriage. The couple married in 2019, and their relationship influenced the rapper's album titled The Big Day. So they announced their separation on IG, and I will read to you what it says. After a period of separation, the two of us have arrived at the decision to part ways, the couple wrote in a shared statement. They said, "We came to this decision amicably and with gratitude for the time we spent together. God has blessed us with two beautiful daughters who we will continue to raise together. We kindly ask for your privacy and respect as we navigate this transition. Thank you." So if you guys remember, when Chance the Rapper went to the Caribbean, I forget specifically what island it was. I want to say either Jamaica or Trinidad. But I think he went for Carnival and he was winding up. If you guys have ever been to the Caribbean or specifically Carnival, even in Toronto, right? The dance where you wind with your hips. A lot of people were saying that it was very provocative, and they were wondering about how it affected his wife, his marriage, etc. And listen, I was rooting for them because I feel like, Chance the Rapper, he was talking about how important his wife was to him, his life, helping him grow up. And, they have two beautiful daughters, they have a family. So it's unfortunate that, they weren't able to work things out. They first started dating in 2013, and then they welcomed their daughter, Kinsley, in 2015. They announced that they briefly separated in 2016, and the two took a child support case to court. Then in 2018, they got back together, reconciled, and they married in 2019 and welcomed their second daughter, Marley, that same year. Chance's debut studio album, titled The Big Day, is inspired by their relationship. Last year, the couple had a public falling out. Oh, okay. Yeah, after. So I'm reading this Complex article and I was right. So they had a public falling out after the video showed Chance grinding on a woman and slapping her butt at Carnival. See, I didn't know all that. I didn't see the butt slap, but okay. She shared a Maya Angelou passage on her Instagram about people not growing up, while Chance shared a clip of comedian Bill Burr joking how much he loves his wife despite how much they argue. So he knew he was wrong for that. He could have at least taken his wife with him to Carnival, left the kids with a sitter or grandma or somebody and had a good time together. Those are the type of things that hold a relationship together, right? Like when you're traveling, you make memories and, your relationship blossoms. I know she probably felt slighted, not only staying at home, but also watching him, walk up and wind up on another woman at Carnival, and the butt slap didn't help. Chance, a source later told TMZ that the couple, they were all good. Yeah, okay, well, okay, not so much now. In recent years, Chance has been relatively quiet when it comes to new music. That all changed in January, though, when he shared a freestyle entitled "I Will Be Your Big Star Line Freestyle." Okay. The title alludes to his long-teased Big Day follow-up, which is tentatively named the Starline Gallery. He has yet to release a date for the upcoming project. So we're going to look forward to that. A lot of people online were saying that they thought that, now that they're going to get a divorce, that he's going to write music that's going to disparage his wife, since his first album was so heavily influenced by how much he was publicly proclaiming, his love for her. I feel like if they could have maybe, talked it out, got even with like a good marriage and family therapist, so they could have worked through that, right? I mean, yes, I'm sure that she was embarrassed that he was caught, in 4K on Instagram smacking a girl's butt. But I feel like they're, and I know Chance is from Chicago and I don't know where his wife is from, but I feel like in the Caribbean, like the culture is a lot more relaxed, but Carnival and, even winding up like that, it's not as, um, there's not as much stigma associated with it. You know what I mean? Like I said, I think the butt slap was a little far, but just dancing with someone, and this is just my own thoughts, my own opinion, but I don't think that it was that big of a deal. Now, what I will say is that's all we saw, and that was years ago. So, of course, maybe they did work through it, and then this is something else that happened. I'm hopeful, that it didn't. But who knows, right? We can only speculate. However, I will say that, I hope that the girls are okay. They're still young enough, they're in their formative years where divorce can have, a devastating effect on children. But Chance, he seems like someone who is extremely grounded. And so I know that he'll be there, for his two daughters. But it's sad. It's unfortunate, that they weren't able to work through their issues because they do have a beautiful family. But I mean, listen, sometimes that's how life goes. You grow apart. If she's posting Maya Angelou quotes on Instagram, talking about how he should grow up, I mean, that's unfortunate. She was sending him a message um, saying, you need to do better. And he posted a comedian, like everything's not a joke, about Bill Burr, who I believe is still married to a Black woman, and he loves her despite how much they argue. I feel like a lot of times it's unfortunate. Like women are socialized from a very early age to be a lot more mature and to take on a lot more emotional labor than men. Like men typically laugh things off, for him to respond to her posting something that she was, obviously hurt and publicly embarrassed and humiliated online is a message to him to grow up and do better. And he responds with a comedian with a joke. That's not a good look. That to me, that's very dismissive. I think that, she was asking him to take ownership, to take accountability. And it's unfortunate because a lot of times men don't recognize that until it's too late. Like Shaq, right? Shaquille O'Neal, he talks pretty often about how he regrets the way that he did Shawnee. And he says, I live in this huge house by myself. I have to be honest. I'm surprised he hasn't remarried yet. But yeah, he says that it's not worth it if you lose your family, and it's really not. And maybe, Chance will have the opportunity to use the situation and learn and grow from it, because I feel like that's all his soon-to-be ex-wife Kirsten was asking for, right? Because that's not. I mean, to be honest, right? If we're just gonna be 100 real, going to Carnival by yourself, smacking people on the butt and stuff, like that's college frat boy type behavior, right? It's not the behavior of someone, in my opinion, an established professional musician, married man, father of two girls. It's not really a good look, but that's not something, in my opinion, that you can't work through, right? I feel like if they could have perhaps sought out a good therapist or even a pastor, right? Because Chance is very open and adamant about his faith, being a Christian. They could have sat down with a good pastor and, maybe work through those issues over a few months, maybe even a year. Who knows how long it takes? But it just doesn't seem like he respected her, at least not publicly. And, everybody has their breaking point. I mean, anytime a woman is posting Maya Angelou quotes, I'm not trying to, I feel like she was being very serious, and she was trying to communicate her hurt in the best way that she knew how. For him to respond with a joke, a literal professional comedian, it was dismissive. It was disparaging. And to me, it doesn't seem like he was mature enough to fight for his family. And I'm hoping that he can take this lesson going forward and use that to mature. Whether he chooses to remarry or not, that he can set a good example for his daughters. Because what we don't want to have happen is for them to normalize that behavior, like, oh, my future spouse can go overseas, Toronto or wherever, whatever carnival he was at, and, smack one on the butt and do all these things and leave me at home, and that's okay. Because it's not. But anyway, you guys, let me know your thoughts about their divorce in the comment section. Please be sure to like the video, subscribe to the channel, and I will talk with you in the next one. Take care, Aces. Bye.